Okay, good afternoon. I am Dave. This is Dave Splains, and today we're going to jump in here. I kind of just wanted to do functions, but at the same time, I kind of wanted to talk about modules as well. Now, a module is a program that you can pull into a program. So let's say this is a module, or it doesn't even have to be a program, it could be a variable, it could be anything, but it's in another file. So this is module.py for Python, and this is a whole another file. So I can sit here and I can go, well, I can do anything really. And one of the biggest things that I use a module for regularly, just so that, like, even with these YouTube videos, I can make sure that you don't see some things, is usernames and passwords. So um, if I wanted to say like username equals uh, uh, good lord, it's so bad because I was gonna like just write coyote because they're like always in the news lately, but like that some people can be really offended by that. I guess, I don't know. I'm just gonna do it. If you're offended, I'm sorry. As always, it's a string, so we put our quotes around it, and then password. Now, you usually would not call this username and password because of the fact that, like, people see your code will be like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. I mean, you know what they are. And then 58 HG POT whatever. Okay. And then we go over to our functions and we do import module, and then we can print module dot, and then automatically that linter brings up the possibilities. So let's just take the username and we have coyote. So it's it's really kind of easy if you're going to make your own modules. But we use that, but we can also bring in modules that other people have already made, like not math. Let's say I wanted to bring in time, and then I wanted to use that to print time. So apologize for my quickly typing. Time, and then C time. Because that C time is a function, you have to add those parentheses afterwards. That parentheses is where you can put in variables. And now we have coyote in. All right. I tend, when I'm doing production stuff, to like comment out prints and everything, but it's not uncommon for me, at least, to have a whole bunch of print commands throughout my code as test points, so I can see how data is changing as I'm going through it. But when you're doing production stuff, you usually want to keep all of that out, keep even if they're commented out, you get rid of them, because you can make a whole new file for production, just label it like for the manager or whatever, and then you can just remove all of those stupid little print things that don't need to be there at all. I mean, you're still going to have comments, as you should, but still. Now, I will say that t equals time dot c time. Okay. Now we can do print T. That's going to be a lot cleaner now. So we're going to do this. We're going to do type T. Just for giggles, I want to find out. So it's a string. That's interesting. Okay, so if it's a string, we already know from yesterday's, we talked about this because a string is a list. We can do T equals T dot split and split the space. And print T. So now we have a space here because we removed only one space out of this two spaces. And then we have number 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means if we just do the 5th option. Oh. That's interesting. Oh, jeez. Gotta start it. I'm sorry. I'm gone the wrong way here, I guess. So we have the time, and now we can say that T4, let's see here, time equals T4. Maybe we should just do T instead. And then we can say D equals T how about TOD, time of day, equals T4. And then, just because I don't want to sit here, because if any of this code gets messed up, then I'm going to have to sit here and do, okay, well, D equals that. So, let's say, oh, I can do date. All right, good. D. So then we're going to do what? Iteration 1 plus T iteration 2 plus T iteration 5. Oh. Then time of day. I apologize. I did rounded brackets rather than square brackets. All right. We have November 20. Okay. Let's put it in a comma, in a space, and then there we go. Clean it up, make it look nice and everything. And now, okay, so apparently I don't get the space that's in there. But see how you can take this time, this is the time construct, and you can split it off into an actual data. Now, I know this is kind of annoying and everything because you're like, well, yeah, great. All right. So okay. So now that we have all of this, let's say let's turn this into a function. So now we can turn this into a function and automatically get it. So we can do define function, def, and we can say time of day. Now, again, indents. Indents are important. They signify what we're doing here. So anything that's going to be indented after this def means that it's inside the actual function. So this is all going to be just in there. It's not going to be global variables or anything like that. It's all in this thing. Any variable only matters in here. So what we can do here is this. You know what? Let's break this up first off. So I'm going to X all of that out, and I'm going to say I'm going to do this a little bit faster than I wanted to, but this is something that actually really bothered me with learning off of W3 schools and not somewhere. I took 2 Java courses, and like object-oriented programming just kind of like befuddled me. It wasn't until I took it in Python that I actually understood it way better. So let's take that. Let's put that in there. And I know that doesn't really say much for me. It's just, what are you going to do? Turn T. So what I'm going to do here is, well, first off, let's cut that out. Let's comment that out. And let's go and make a main function. Or you know what, let's just do get time. So x equals get time. Why does that keep happening to me today? So weird. I think I'm just like nervous now. So now we actually have it where we have everything running down here now, and all I did was I just pulled all of everything that comes out of here into X and then printed X here. Fine. Now that we understand that anything that happens in here is going to go to return T, which means if I call it here, this is going to return it to this point in the program. So return T to this point, and then basically T becomes X, and then I print X. If you want, I can go back and say T equals get time. That's going to be counterintuitive later on. So again, doesn't matter what I call it. Now, we talked about, I just mentioned anyway, doing a main function. So here's our main function. And then we're going to do x equals get time. Now we have x. Remember, x is what we need for all of this to work. So we're going to do find time of day, and we're going to do let's say we need T. Now it doesn't matter what this is, it only matters what this is. Whatever I put here is going to be through this entire program. So it doesn't matter what I call it down here, it's going to become T up here for the rest of this function. So time of day, and we need TOD equals T4, was that? Yeah. And then return TOD. And it will be time of day equals time of day X. So we're getting it from here, we're throwing it through here, it becomes T, and then it's used here to get TOD. TOD gets returned to here. And we're going to print time of day, where that's what it becomes right here. What on earth just happened? Got like seriously bright in the room, and I'm just like, it's bothering me. We have a whole bunch of other prints going. Yeah, we do. See, that's what's the problem is happening here. Huh. All right. Before I do anything else, I don't want to lose our date. So define date creator. And date creator is going to be X again. Or, sorry, it's going to be key. And then it's going to be I'm just going to copy and paste all of that. And then this should be return date. You know what is the problem? Is that this program is running, but I never called the main function down here. There you go. There's our time. It's the silliest thing. Like the program will run, but unless you actually call the function down here, it's not gonna do anything out of here. Like all of this stuff will work, just you have to call it. So oh good, we are recording. That's my mistake. This is me rushing through trying to make sure that nothing happens. So here we have date now equals the date creator, and it's going to take from X also, and then print date, and now we have everything working. And then we can sit here and make our comments, and we can say retrieves a clean time format. Yeah, just put down a clean time of day format, and we'll put out what it's actually going to put out. So it's going to be hour, minute, second, because that's the format that we have. As we can see down here, this is what we have. So it's very important to know that. Now we can leave it as hour, but as we can see down here, this is 15:15. That means that this is a 24-hour format. So sometimes we might want to mention, hey, oh, now what are you doing? All right. This is a 24-hour. Why on earth? Oh, you know what? I don't have my numlock on. There we go. 24-hour, minute, second format. And that's just so that people can know, like, well, this is what's going to be going on. And you always want to play nice because makes other people's lives a lot easier. Pardon me. As month abbreviated. Day, year. Pardon me. Now, this is not always how I would do things personally. I usually do the day, month, year because it's I like being able to separate the numbers with the letters, and it just looks kind of clean to me personally. Either one will work when you take and you load this into a into like a visualization program like Power BI or Tableau. Either one will form into a completely clean format. So now we can sit there and build a date format, a date builder here, or a data builder. So we'll just go with define function as a data builder or constructor. Just sounds more like 80s Transformers. And then we can have date, comma, time, and then we can have x equals date plus comma space plus time, and this is going to be really, really stupid, but it's fine. We can go 4x in range 30. Forgot to hit return x. And don't forget, if you're going to build a list or tuple or anything else, you have to kind of just put it in here. So let's say we're going to do a list equals, okay, now it's established that it's going to exist. And then we can go list dot append x and we can go list and x. Okay, so we don't want to do that. We're going to do data equals data constructor, and we need our time of day, which is going to be time of day. Okay, so we need date first because that's what's up here first. So we need date and then time of day. No, yep. Okay, and then we can hit data and print list. Ta-da! And then all of this whole thing can be put into another function, and we can talk about what that function does in our comments and make it all nice. But that is, in a nutshell, building a function. So I know I kind of had a little bit of fun. I said, I put in a for loop. I made technically this is an actual data file. You can put this into a text document and then read that text document and append this text document as much as you want. You can also add other data. So like say we have a function that pulls cryptocurrency values off of a website, just scrapes them off, which we will probably be doing in this month. Say we're going to do it with the stock market. We can do it with gas prices, where gas prices change daily, and then you can visualize the data of gas prices during the day, and here is your date and time that you can add that to. So you can check it twice a day and see if any of them change during the day, where you can check it in the morning and check it in the evening, and it'll run 2 times a day, and you can comprise all of this data and put it together and see what happens. You can do this with anything, really, but time and date is always really easy to get. You don't even necessarily need to do this. We could have done system time as well with other functions, but this is where you can get down to the second and everything else. You can make another loop where you say while the time is less than this time setup, keep running this loop. But that is going to be everything, I think, today. We pulled in the time module, which has to be downloaded to your computer to use. If you're using replit.com, you don't have to download it, because Replit will download all of your imports temporarily and hold them while you're running that. It does take a little bit more time, but at the same time, if you're not comfortable downloading these modules to your computer yet, which I should probably do a video on that, but then we're just in the realm of what I said with the first video, as I don't really want to make videos on how to set up Python and Visual Studio Code to your computer, where technically speaking, after that, I should also talk about attaching GitHub to your VS Code. And now we're just turning into a whole big thing here. But the same thing can happen over here, where I say that I want to take this date creator, not the date creator, the data constructor. and take it out. And I want to put it in the module. Now I know that it's date and time, but let's say I want to put in module dot data constructor, date and time of day. Now remember, it's not on the functions page anymore. Now it's in module. Let's see here. I might want to save that first so that it is definitely there. And now the system runs again as if nothing happened, because I am still addressing that there is a function called data constructor, but now I'm talking about that it's in the module. So you can connect to variables, you can connect to functions and pull them back into another function. Then you call the function, and it'll just go through the different steps. So all you're doing is you're building steps of a program for everything to do. These are the different parts of your algorithm. And what's really neat about this is that you can actually take these and use them somewhere else. So if I wanted to get my system time for another program, I can take all of these out and put them into another program, or I can build a module for all of these and then just import the module every single time and then have everything built for me, like immediately. Just because I can take this entire function and then let's see here, I create a new, probably have to go copy, Control Shift N, no, dang it. I'm trying not, I don't want to open up my file thing and then have everybody see all of the files that are on here, because then you're going to be like, oh, that's what we're going to be doing this month. But we can do practice snippets, add a new file, and then do functions 2.py, and then we can go in and say that it is we want the main function here. So we're gonna do import function functions. My apologies. And then we can do x equals main. There we go. Whoops. What did we forget to do? Functions.main. Print x, and just to make sure that you actually saw that. Ta-da! Works as if nothing ever happened. So I just took functions from a module into another file and then brought it into another file. And now all of that is down to 3 lines. So that is functions and modules today. We also did a little bit on setting up data, and of course we always talk about loops, even though we don't mean to, because loops are fun and loops are in a way how we get our data. So Like, say you wanted to run this, and maybe we have a thing that stalls it for a second, or we say, um, you know, we have to do something based on the computer time, what have you, and we say every 1 second we want this program to run, and then it collects information every second or twice a day or what have you. So that's our information today, and I hope to see you tomorrow.